Hi everybody. When I bought my new DJI Action 3 camera recently, a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now, was a great addition for creating some nice content. Also upgraded my microphone, wireless microphone. And but one of the things, because this films not only in 1080 but it also 2K and also or I should say 2.7K and also 4K. One of the things that I ran into was that my computer, my desktop, was not powerful enough to play or edit 4K video, and you realize that when you're playing it and the video is really sketchy or jumpy and your audio just continues to go and your mouth isn't moving, that's when you know that your computer just doesn't have the capacity to play that kind of video or edit that kind of video for that matter. So it was either upgrade some things or deal with it and have it take forever to edit content. And I decided to upgrade. Now honestly, really all it boiled down to was I needed a new graphics card. I needed to update a graphics card to a more mid-range. Mine was an internal graphics card, and it just wasn't designed to play 4K video or edit 4K video. So first thing I did was I upgraded the graphics card to something a little bit more mid-range. It wasn't awful expensive, but it was not cheap either. It was about $420 to upgrade the graphics card. It's called a RTX 360 Ti, and I guess it's made by Zotac Gaming. It's more of a gaming type, but also works good for kind of at the lower range for video editing, but it will work just fine for what I need it for. I'm not a CAD designer or anything like that, so get this off here so I can work on this. There we go. Okay, let me just get this out of the way real quick so you can see. So this is the gaming card right here. Not much to it, but one of the things after I installed it, it worked, but from what I understand, they recommend a certain amount of wattage for your power supply, and they kind of overthink it a little bit. They want a lot of wiggle room. I could probably get away with like 500 watts of power. However, my system only ran 430 watts of power. So along with updating the video graphics card, I updated the power supply. I found this at Best Buy. It was really the only one they had. They were out of everything else. But I only wanted a 600 watt, but all they had was 700, 750, and 850. So I went with what I could get, 700 watt. It's not modular, meaning it doesn't have a bunch of ports to plug in just what you need for your power supply. In other words, it's got kind of like a Medusa of power cords for all different all different things you need. And so you end up with a lot of extra and you're just tucking them away because you really don't need them. The modular ones, you know, you only plug in what you need and then you can just save your cords somewhere else. Don't throw them away, but if you need them in the future. But a lot of people don't get into this. Yesterday was the first time I've ever been in a computer in my life. But lots of good content on YouTube to help you out. I had a guy that was helping me, but he wasn't showing up to help me, so I'm an impatient guy, so I went and kind of learning on the fly as to how to do things. Ran into a few issues here and there, but all my errors rather than, you know, the equipment itself. So, you know, I plugged this in and then I had to replug in the CPU, the main power supply, my two HDD, they're 1 terabyte each HDD drives, and my DVD drive, which is up here, and then of course the RTX and the CPU up there. So there was about 6 plugs that I needed, and there's a pile of plugs down here that you just really don't need, so you try to tuck them away as best they can. While I was doing this, I hit a wire and I actually pulled out one thing from the back, and it wasn't a power supply. It's just something that I don't even know what it is. However, you know, it was necessary to do it. So the first time I tried to boot this thing back up, I had nothing, and then I found out I had a loose connection somewhere. So I just double checked every connection that I had, and then put it back together, and it booted up. One of the things that I did do wrong is I plugged in a speaker in a wrong connection, and when it was booting up, because it's reading, you know, new power supply, new things, and I got it. I should say I got a new monitor right behind it too. It wanted to know what that thing was that was plugged in there, and it was asking it, and it couldn't respond because it was plugged into the wrong port, and it was just a speaker, and so it just sat there and would not boot up, would not boot up. So anyways, I figured that out. I unplugged everything and booted it up, then plugged everything back in. My speakers didn't work, and then I realized, hey, you got it plugged in the wrong port. There you go. So now it's been booting up just fine here the last few times. So hopefully I got it all worked out. However, there was one item that I wanted to install. Now, these are HDD drives, which are kind of like a spinning drive. This is my C drive. This is my D drive. Now, these two drives, this is my programs, Windows, the operating system. All my programs get loaded onto this drive. This is my storage, where all my videos and pictures and everything. And this is only 1 terabyte. And I say only 1 terabyte. It's actually a lot. When you start video editing 4K video, you're going to chew up video like you won't believe. But these are also much, much slower, these HDD drives, than a solid state drive. However, solid state drives don't really mount very well. Well, there we go. Okay, so this is a caddy, actually, a mounting bracket for the SD card, and you can slide it out and then mount the screws as necessary here. To it. Okay, so now I've got to find a power port. There it is. That's snapped in. Good. So that's in. That's in. All right. Okay. 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 That one. That one. And then this one just slides off completely. And then we get a look at what we got going on here. This is the SAT cable for this one. This is the SAT cable for this one. Power cable here, and then this is a third power cable right here, and this is what we'll use to plug in the third solid state drive. So as I get it fed in. There it is. That just went in just like that. Okay. I do get technology a little bit, but not to this extent. But a lot of these components are plug and play, and that makes it a lot easier to install on yourself if you got a little bit of time, a little bit of patience. Like I said, installing this seemed daunting, but now that I've done it once, it really wasn't too bad. There's that drive right there. Yeah, it's just sitting on top of that. It is what it is, I guess, at this point. That's done. Interesting why that doesn't plug into this one. I don't get it. It should, you would think, but whatever. So, okay, I'm going to plug all this stuff in and we'll be back when we boot things back up, and I have to install that new drive. So, it's be back daunting. One thing I forgot to do is turn on the power in the back. So I kind of reach back here. Find the big old power cable way down there, and right next to it is the power. And that turns on the speakers and the keyboard and the mouse. But not the computer. So, this is kind of the moment of truth here. This is my scariest part, is turning it on and seeing what happens. Turns on, turns off, then turns back on. I'm not exactly sure why it does that. It doesn't do that on a restart, but it does it on a sort of like a reboot. Shit. This is not the screen I wanted to see. I honestly had no idea how to get out of this. So it's discovered some new devices. Port 1. This is I believe this is the new 1 terabyte SA510 2.5. Oh. Cancel. Exit advanced mode. Advanced mode. Enter advanced mode. Advanced mode. Now there was something on here. Fast boot disabled. Okay. Exit. Save changes and reset. Yes. Now let's see what it does. Yeah, I bought this ultra wide screen. Um, not really good for a lot of things other than my video editing. A really long timeline, so that I can kind of see everything. Before I had a smaller screen, I'd have to squish everything together to try to put little pieces of my videos, my content videos together. So this should help in that regard. That's it's my old dog Autumn. She wasn't the world's greatest retriever in the world. She was really soft, but she was just everybody's best friend. She was a sweetheart, and I miss her. This was the day before she died. Okay, so now we've got to go into disk management. Let's see if we can, there we go. So create and format hard drive partitions, there we go. Disk management. GPD, that's where we want, disk 1. Initialize a disk, okay. That's okay, all right. So let's see. So this is the drive right here, disk 1. It says unallocated right here. Disk 0, 500 gigabyte, or yeah, it's 1 terabyte. It's 931 gigabytes actually. My CD-ROM down here. Disk 2, 931 gigabytes, which is 1 terabyte. So that's the disk F. That's my C drive right here. So this has all my stuff in it. It's actually C and D drive. I think it's split. There's 700 gigs in media D, and then there's 242 gigs in C, because all it holds is my operating system and my programs. So it doesn't need to be huge. Media is D. My F drive has been all my videos, but that's pretty well full. So we're gonna have to name it. You know, we'll do the creation here. We'll go through this wizard. Actually asks you, you know, if you want to leave it, you know, size. So it's 953,852 bytes. So we're going to leave that. Assign a name to it. Now I can assign it a letter, and I think I'm going to assign it Z. That's going to be my Z drive. Okay. Next. NTFS, that's what we want. Allocation unit size, yes. Okay. New volume. We're going to label this 1 terabyte SSD. Media. So I know what it is. That's going to be my SSD drive, because my other ones are HDD drives. SSD drives just generate a whole lot faster. So when my video editing is trying to pull video from the hard drive, the HDD has to work a lot faster. A solid state drive, there's no moving components. It's very, very quick. So I want to make sure that I put all my video content on that drive initially. Okay, so this tells you everything. Volume type, simple volume. Disk selected 1. Volume size, blah, blah, blah. Path, that's your path for it. So it's Z drive. NTFS, that's what we want. Allocation unit size default, so that's the full amount. Volume label, tells you what I labeled it. Quick format, yes, and that's what we're doing right now. We're formatting it. Enable file and folder compression, no. So finish. So there we go. And there's my new drive that just showed up. 1 terabyte SSD media Z drive. So that's it right there. Folder is empty and it's ready for use. So really that's all there is to it. And this tells you everything about your drives, your status, healthy. So that's all good. To let you know that all your drives are in good shape. If you ever have problems, you can always come here and see if there's a problem with one of your drives. So right now we are good, and that's all I have to do. So now my external hard drive is paperweight. There it is. Okay, now it recognized it. Okay, good. So, all right, WD black. I just kind of had to plug it back in again. So, I got some raw footage from earlier. Yesterday, and I want to move it to choose a file location. How about our new terabyte here? I'm going to make a new folder and just call it video. Okay, move it. All right. Now let's see how long it takes to move from the SSD drive. It says it's about 6 minutes and 30 seconds it's going to take to do it. So not too bad, so we can come back to it. Okay, so that didn't take too long. I transferred some data over into the new Z drive here. And there we go. And there it all is. Let's see how much I used up. Like I said, this was just 1 day's worth. And I've used 16 gigs. That's a lot. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is this is my new video editing software. And let me tell you something, folks. I am not a nerd or a geek by any stretch of the imagination. You know, it's a little intimidating to get into your PC and do it yourself. But if I can do it, you can do it. Let me tell you, because yesterday was the first time I've ever even opened that box. And that was built for me back in 2017. And obviously since then I put in a new drive, I put in a new power supply, and I put in a new gaming card. And a couple hiccups here and there, but you know, it's all everything's working the way I wanted it to. So this is what we want. Affecting my new graphics card has helped with me being able to play a full preview rather than the shadow file. It's still going to be a little fuzzy in the preview, but the final product should be a lot better. So as you can see, my timeline here can get really long, and I can, you know, now edit videos a whole lot better.
Is enough for me to send this That's it. Till next time, enjoy the outdoors.
Now this is a 16:9 video, and this is not a 16:9 screen. It's an ultra wide screen, so of course you're going to get crops on the side, but it's more about the timeline for me, being able to edit the video all the way through. So really happy with that. You know, I don't have probably the most expensive video software. This is a kind of like a simplified type of software. I think it's called Power Director 17. I bought it in 2017, obviously, and they sell now Power Director 365, which is a monthly payment. I don't want to pay monthly. When I own a program, I want to own it. I do not want to keep paying and paying. I mean, you know, I make a little bit of money off my content, but I don't want to give it away to the company that makes my video edit. Well, that would be stupid. So, I mean, I make $15 a month on my video content. Not very much at all. So, over a year, you know, I might make a couple $100. It helps me kind of like pay for some of my upgrades, I guess. But I do it more for fun than anything, but I damn sure don't want to just give money away. Now, if I had 1 million viewers, I might think twice about it, because, well, I'd probably be making a lot of money. So again, like I said, if I can do it and you want to upgrade to, you know, for your content, you can do it too. You definitely don't need a geek to do it, but when you run into problems and they're trying to troubleshoot, you know, the professionals have spare parts. They can throw in a new video card to see if Is it the video card that's bad, or is it something else? So they can eliminate a lot of issues by plugging in new parts. Where me, once anything stops working, I really don't have anything to try. I don't have spare parts. I literally have to go buy and just guess that that's the problem. So that's it. Take care. Have a good day.